The intricate tapestry of family life is woven with threads of profound love, inexplicable friction, and patterns that repeat across generations. We often look at the dynamics of our own families, the unspoken alliances, the persistent rivalries, the roles we seem destined to play, and we seek explanations in psychology, in upbringing, in shared history. But what if the most profound answers don't lie within the confines of this single lifetime? What if the true reasons for the unique challenges and blessings of your family are written in the ancient ink of past lives, in soul contracts made long before you were born? The relationships that define us, that build us up and sometimes break us down, are rarely accidental. They are continuations of a story, chapters in a much larger book that details our soul's journey toward understanding and grace. We are about to explore a perspective that reframes every family argument, every selfless sacrifice, and every unbreakable bond, not as a random occurrence, but as a deliberate, meaningful part of a grand spiritual curriculum. Before we delve into the profound wisdom of one of the most documented mystics of the 20th century, take a moment to support our journey of discovery by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel. Your support allows us to continue bringing these deep and transformative insights to light, creating a community of seekers dedicated to understanding life's deepest mysteries. The name Edgar Cayce resonates with a unique authority in the realm of spiritual exploration. He was not a guru on a mountaintop, but a simple man from Kentucky who, when in a self-induced trance state, could access a source of information that transcended the known world. Dubbed the Sleeping Prophet, Cayce gave over 14,000 documented readings for thousands of people over a period of 43 years. These were not vague pronouncements, they were detailed, specific, and often medically and historically accurate discourses, all transcribed verbatim by a stenographer. While his readings covered a vast array of subjects, from health to ancient history, a significant portion was dedicated to the soul's journey through reincarnation. And central to this journey, Cayce revealed, is the concept of the family not as a biological convenience, but as a primary spiritual arena. According to his readings, we choose our families. More accurately, we are drawn into specific family units as part of a soul group. These are collections of souls who have interacted extensively over many lifetimes, forging powerful energetic bonds through shared experiences. These groups reincarnate together, time and time again, taking on different roles, mother, son, uncle, rival, lover, to provide one another with the precise opportunities needed for spiritual growth and the balancing of karmic energies. This foundational idea radically shifts our perception. The difficult sibling isn't just a personality clash, they may be a soul with whom you have a deep, unresolved history from a past existence. That immediate, almost telepathic connection you feel with a grandchild might be the rekindling of a powerful bond you shared as partners or allies in another time and place. Cayce's work suggests that the family is the crucible where our greatest karmic lessons are faced. It is where unfinished business demands completion. Imagine a cast of actors who perform many plays together over the centuries. In one play, two actors are bitter rivals. In the next, they are cast as a loving parent and child, giving them the chance to transform their energy of opposition into one of support and unconditional love. This is how soul groups operate. The stage changes, the costumes are different, but the actors, the souls, remain the same, working through their shared script until they learn their lines of compassion, forgiveness, and understanding perfectly. Let's delve deeper into the mechanics of this spiritual drama. According to the Cayce material, the energies we create in one life do not simply dissipate upon our passing. They are carried with us, creating what we might call karmic debts and karmic assets. Our karmic debt is not a punishment, but rather an imbalance created by actions rooted in negativity, harm, betrayal, selfishness, or neglect. If, in a past life, an individual misused their authority to suppress a younger sibling, they might reincarnate as the child of that same soul, now finding themselves in a position where they must learn to be patient, supportive, and subject to the authority of the one they once controlled. This isn't divine retribution, it's spiritual physics. The universe seeks balance, and our souls orchestrate the conditions necessary to learn the other side of the lesson. This explains so many baffling family dynamics. The parent who seems to resent their child's freedom might be working through a past life where that child, perhaps as a ruler or a figure of authority, restricted their own freedom. The constant draining financial demands of a particular family member might be a direct karmic reflection of a time when the roles were reversed, and you were the one who took from them without thought. Conversely, we also carry karmic assets. These are the powerful positive bonds forged through acts of genuine love, loyalty, and self-sacrifice in previous lives. These assets manifest as the seemingly effortless relationships in our lives. It's the sibling who is your unquestioning best friend, the parent who is your greatest champion, the cousin who feels more like a soulmate. When you meet a new baby in the family and feel an overwhelming ancient sense of connection, you are likely tapping into a deep karmic asset. You are recognizing a beloved companion from your soul group, another actor you have shared countless stages with, and the love from those past performances is flooding into the present moment. This is why some family bonds are so resilient, able to withstand any challenge, while others are so fragile, seemingly broken by the slightest pressure. The resilient bonds are often built on a foundation of centuries of mutual support and affection, a deep well of karmic assets from which to draw. The fragile ones are often new arrangements, or more commonly, opportunities to finally address and heal old karmic debts. Understanding this framework allows us to reevaluate some of the most common and painful family archetypes. Consider the black sheep, the individual who never seems to fit in, who challenges every family norm and value. From a conventional perspective, this person is a problem, a disruptor. But from a Cayce perspective, the black sheep may be a highly evolved soul who has incarnated into the family specifically to break stagnant, negative patterns that have been repeating for generations. Their role is to be the catalyst for change, to question the unquestioned, and to force the family to either grow or shatter its rigid, outdated structures. Their path is often lonely and difficult, but spiritually, it is a role of immense service to the entire soul group. Then there is the archetype of the sacrificial caregiver, the one who puts everyone else's needs before their own, often to the point of self-depletion. This pattern is frequently rooted in a past life of selfishness or neglect. A soul who, in a previous incarnation, lived a life of indulgence and disregarded the needs of their dependents might choose a life where they are immersed in the lessons of service and self-denial. Their challenge in this lifetime is not simply to serve, but to find the balance, to serve with love without losing themselves, to give freely without becoming a martyr. By learning this balance, they heal the past life's extremism and bring that part of their soul's ledger back into equilibrium. The dynamics between parents and children are particularly fertile ground for these karmic lessons. An overbearing, controlling parent may be a soul who in a past life felt abandoned or neglected by the soul who is now their child. Their current controlling behavior, while misguided, stems from a deep-seated karmic fear of losing that person again. The child's task in this scenario is to learn healthy boundaries and assert their individuality with compassion, while the parent's task is to learn to trust and release their fear, transforming possessiveness into genuine supportive love. They are co-creating a healing experience, a chance to rewrite a painful old script. When you begin to view your family through this lens, judgment starts to dissolve and is replaced by a profound curiosity and, eventually, compassion. You start to see that the most difficult people in your life are often your most important spiritual teachers, presenting you with a mirror to the unhealed parts of your own soul's history. To better understand how these ancient echoes play out in our modern families, it can be helpful to recognize some of the primary karmic patterns that Edgar Cayce's readings identified time and again. These are not rigid rules, but recurring themes in the great drama of soul groups. Number 1. The pattern of reversal. This is perhaps the most common and easily recognizable pattern. Souls will literally swap roles from one lifetime to the next to learn the full spectrum of an experience. A tyrannical king may be reborn as a humble servant in the house of his former subject. A husband who abandoned his wife and children may find himself in a subsequent life as a devoted wife abandoned by her husband. This pattern is a powerful teacher of empathy. You cannot truly understand a position until you have walked in those shoes. When you see a family dynamic where there is a stark power imbalance, and the person in the subordinate role seems to carry a quiet dignity or resilience, while the person in the dominant role seems anxious or insecure, you may be witnessing a karmic reversal in progress. The souls are balancing the scales, learning from the opposite perspective of a shared past trauma or conflict. This is not about revenge, it is about completeness. Number 2, the pattern of intensification. Sometimes a soul group needs to turn up the volume on a particular lesson. An issue that was a minor point of contention in one life may become the central, all-consuming theme of the next. For instance, two brothers who had a mild professional rivalry in a life in the 19th century might reincarnate as siblings in a family where they are pitted against each other from birth for parental affection, academic achievement, and eventually, inheritance. The universe, through the agreement of their souls, has intensified the theme of rivalry to a point where it can no longer be ignored. It must be confronted and, ideally, healed. When you see a family absolutely fixated on a single issue, be it money, reputation, control, or a specific talent, to a degree that seems illogical from the outside, you are likely seeing a pattern of intensification. The soul group has collectively decided that this is the lifetime to finally master this particular energy, and so they have created a situation where the pressure is immense, forcing a resolution. Number 3, the pattern of opportunity. This is a more positive and uplifting pattern. It occurs when souls who have built up significant karmic assets of love and support reincarnate together to achieve a specific mission or purpose. They come together not primarily to balance old debts, but to combine their synergistic energies for a creative or humanitarian goal. This could be a family of musicians who inspire the world with their harmony, a family of activists who work together to bring about social change, or simply a family that creates a powerful bastion of love and stability in their community, serving as a beacon for others. In these families, the bonds are often remarkably smooth. There is an innate understanding and a shared sense of purpose. This is not to say they have no challenges, but their foundational energy is one of collaboration rather than conflict. They are cashing in their karmic assets to create something beautiful and impactful in the world, demonstrating the ultimate potential of a soul group that has done its healing work over many lifetimes. A critical element woven through all of Cayce's teachings on this subject is the supreme power of free will. We are not puppets of our past. Karma is not fate. Karma is memory. It is the energetic predisposition we bring into this life, the stage setting, and the initial script we have been handed. But at any moment, we have the free will to improvise. We can choose how we react to the karmic situations presented to us. You may have a karmic debt with a family member that sets you up for conflict, but you can choose to respond with patience instead of anger. You can choose forgiveness instead of resentment. You can choose compassion instead of judgment. The moment you make a different choice, you begin to alter the script. You begin to heal the ancient wound, not just for yourself, but for the entire soul group. This is the most empowering aspect of this entire perspective. You are not a victim of your family's dysfunction. You are a co-creator of its healing. When you choose to break a generational pattern of abuse, addiction, or emotional coldness by consciously choosing a different way of being, you are a karmic pioneer. You are doing the work that perhaps your soul group has been trying to do for centuries. Cayce's readings suggest that forgiveness is the ultimate solvent for negative karma. Forgiveness, in this context, is not about condoning harmful behavior. It is about releasing the energetic charge from the memory. It is the conscious decision to let go of the desire for retribution, to release the other person from the role of villain in your story, and to free yourself from the prison of resentment. By forgiving, you are declaring that the old debt is paid, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. This act of grace can neutralize karmic patterns that have been in motion for millennia. So how do we apply this profound knowledge in a practical way? It begins with observation and a shift in perspective. The next time you find yourself in a difficult interaction with a family member, pause. Instead of reacting from a place of personal hurt or anger, ask yourself a different set of questions. What is the deeper lesson here? What pattern is playing out? What quality is this situation asking me to develop in myself? Patience, courage, compassion, the ability to set boundaries. You can begin to see your family life as a personalized spiritual gymnasium. Each difficult interaction is a rep, strengthening a different spiritual muscle. The annoying relative is your patience machine. The critical parent is your self-worth trainer. Furthermore, this perspective encourages us to look for the soul behind the personality. The personality, the ego, the habits, the defenses, is temporary. It's the costume for this particular play. But the soul is eternal. When you can look at a difficult family member and try to connect with the soul behind the challenging behavior, a soul that is also struggling, also learning, also bound to you by ancient ties, something shifts. You may not ever be best friends, but you can hold a space of compassion for them, recognizing that their journey is as complex as your own. This doesn't mean you should tolerate abusive or destructive behavior. Setting healthy boundaries is one of the most spiritual acts you can perform. It is often the very lesson your soul group needs to learn, but you can set those boundaries from a place of loving detachment rather than from a place of hatred or bitterness. Embracing this viewpoint also enriches our most positive connections. When you understand that the deep, easy love you share with a child, a grandparent, or a sibling is likely a karmic asset earned over lifetimes of mutual care, it adds a layer of sacredness to the relationship. You become more grateful for it, more conscious of nurturing it. You see it not just as a source of personal happiness, but as a testament to the enduring power of love across time. It becomes a reminder of what is possible, of the ultimate goal of all our soul journeys, to transform all our relationships into reflections of this unconditional, time-tested love. The family unit, in its beautiful and messy complexity, is the primary workshop for the soul. It is where we are polished, where our rough edges are smoothed, and where we are given the most potent opportunities to transform the lead of our past conflicts into the gold of spiritual wisdom. By looking at your family, in all its light and shadow, you are looking at a living history of your own soul's journey. It is a story of debts and assets, of reversals and opportunities, but above all, it is a story that is ever unfolding, and you, with every conscious choice you make, hold the pen.